rappers didn't give gangster rap its name. The music industry gave gangster rap its name. They said this music has cussing in it, they're calling women bitches, so that's gangster rap because it comes from the gangs and the gangsters.
Gangster rap isn't something that was just born and invented in the quote-unquote ghetto. It's something that you see on American movies.
Like that gun away, get good and ready.
The glorification of Al Capone and Lucky Luciano. That's kind of glamorous in any American's eyes, I think.
My life and people like myself in the early 80s created an atmosphere for gangster rap to have a life.
It really puts the truth of society out in front of America. And America, not used to that, is obviously going to be shocked about it.
The essence of the whole genre is the fact that it is our CNN, it is our 60 Minutes, it is our Dayline. Most artists try to be as factual as possible in depicting the actual experiences of our community.
Suppose they just started rapping about the 6 o'clock news. Would it be gangster rap?
Gangster rap is like the movies, too. Drama sells.
I take it for what it is. It's a record, it's a CD, it's a tape, you know, and I'm not gonna live my life by it. And other people shouldn't either. It's entertainment.
No black man should get on the front of a magazine with a 12-inch cigar in front of 2 Rolls Royces when what could be considered gang colors in America. That sends a bad message. That's negative.
Publicity, when it was negative, played a role also because it was part of this role that Suge Knight had chosen for the company. I mean, these kids were not gangsters, quote, real gangsters. Many people there were not, as a matter of fact, gang members like it has been portrayed in the press. You know, there were people around that were.
When you got brothers that, you know, perpetrating gang violence or gang affiliation and they making it cool, that's a problem. That could be a problem.
It wasn't just death row perpetuating the violence. I think it was the media. I mean, let's face it, the coverage was just awesome. All of a sudden, death row and gangster rap was the reason that every youngster in America was going bad.
They were attracted to the rebelliousness. They could listen to the music and experience what we were going through without having to go through it themselves.
No gangster rap!
Lyrics that promote rape, murder, racism, drug abuse, and violence.
Die. Die. Die, pig, die.
Time Warner's music division promotes music that celebrates the rape, torture, and murder of women.
C. Dolores Tucker is a political activist that embodies herself in matters of African-American decency questions.
In the beginning, she was trying to protect America from the threat of gangster rap.
You will see words that you can't even repeat in a locker room.
But by that point, the cat was out of the bag, and there's very little that she could have done.
Doggy style. Do it from the back.
She was used as a tool because she was a black woman who could make a statement and come out and say this is wrong.
She involved herself in Time Warner politics, along with a odd political bedfellow for her, who was William Bennett.
The moral obtuseness of Time Warner. We do not understand why they don't get it.
These are right-wing conservatives, both of them. They are would-be censors. Both were attacking Time Warner, along with Dole.
A line has been crossed, not just of taste, but of human dignity and decency.
Now you've got a presidential candidate accusing Time Warner of debasing the nation for handling death row product.
The mainstreaming of deviancy must come to an end.
And I think we do have problems with the social fabric of this country right now. I do have trouble believing that it is caused by song lyrics or movies.
Time Warner was also doing Ice-T. They got T off the label, but they were stuck with Death Row, and the numbers were so huge they didn't know what to do with it. They just put $120 million into it. They're getting all that money out and then some. They can't be seen by any of their artists to give in to political pressure whatsoever. If you do that, they'd never get another act again, and no self-respecting manager would ever sign with a label who they thought could be pressured for content.
We, African-American women particularly, are tired of being called hoes, bitches, and sluts by our children who are paid to do this by Time Warner.
She came up with an idea that she reportedly pitched to Fuchs that what if she started a label, a positive rap label, and got Suge to distribute Death Row product through her, with her as the watchdog of the lyrical content, to make sure that the messages were positive. Michael Fuchs, reportedly desperate to try and figure out a solution to this, apparently listened to her. She got Fuchs to guarantee $80 million if she could pull this off.
She was trying to solidify a position with Warner Brothers by changing the nature of gangster rap and making it more like pop rap or children's rap, which is somewhat impossible.
Interscope was not about to let Death Row go without a fight. Suge Knight also protected those artists lyrically and made sure that everyone was allowed to say whatever the hell they wanted to say.
Whatever happens, we're going to stand up tall and be more successful. Only thing anybody doing is making us stronger and better.
No way he was going to let C. Dolores Tucker decide the lyrical content of a Snoop Doggy Dogg album. That wasn't going to happen. But they apparently thought it was. Michael Fuchs reportedly flew to Los Angeles in the Time Warner jet to Dionne Warwick's house, where C. Dolores Tucker's sitting there waiting for Suge Knight to come over to cut a deal that would make it tame Death Row Records.
What she really wanted was a record company, or to have more involvement in that business. I mean, it is a very lucrative business. She had the wherewithal to see where this rap situation was going, how it had the nation really sort of unnerved. She was just trying to parlay it into something for herself, or she had been promised that it would be something for herself.
Never have I discussed $80 million with them about any kind of business deal.
The story goes that they waited 5 hours, Michael Fuchs, C. Dolores Tucker, and at Dionne Warwick's house, that Suge never showed up. Suge went right back to Interscope and said, do you know what these guys just tried to pull? So Interscope then promptly sued Time Warner and promptly sued C. Dolores Tucker for interfering with their contractual relationship.
Time Warner has decided to get out of the gangster rap business by selling its 50% share of Interscope Records back to that company.
Made the right decision, the morally responsible decision, we think, and we believe that by their action, divesting themselves of Interscope at some financial loss, they have set a standard for the entire entertainment industry.
I commend them for it. I think they're going to be good corporate citizens.
Death Row Records was at the center of controversies, and if the Republicans had had their way, would have brought down a president. That's how big the controversy got.